Didn't reply. Well, it's my screen share little thingy. Boom. Fair enough. Okay. Here are the beautiful drawings that I mustered up this morning, going over all the different funnels. So again, this isn't all the funnels that people use, but these are like the most common ones you'll typically find. But again, most of the funnels work in a similar way, right? Like how I mentioned before in like one of the old previous calls, where it's like you get there, you get the attention, you capture the lead, you nurture it, and then you later sell them. So I'm gonna go with the IG funnel first. This one is probably the most common one used. Like anyway, it's like the number one choice every Instagram content creator uses when they decide to sell stuff. And I guarantee you, each and every one of you, when you've been outreaching, has seen something along the lines of this. Like you're going for their profile and they got like a DM me saying keyword. And that's because they're running an Instagram funnel to hopefully or to sell their product. And how it works, it's very simple. So obviously they've got their profile, they've got their bio sorted and stuff like that. And then here they're posting content, if they're doing it correctly, posting content based on the offer that they're selling. So let's just say, for example, if it's a fitness offer, they're doing fitness related videos that help educate and bring views. And then a lot of them you'll see like they'll have like freebies, or comment or DM me the word lift and I'll send you a free guide. Or you'll see in story sequences where they'll post stories, they'll look normal, and then one of them will be like, we just helped so and so achieve this result. If you want to see similar results, DM me 1-to-1 and I'll get back to you. All these to do is just start up a conversation with a DM setter. So the DM setter will come in. If you guys watch the DM setting course module, you'll know exactly how all of this works. But again, they'll qualify you, figure out what your pain points are, what your problems are, see if you're a good fit, and depending on what type of lead magnet it is, they'll probably ask you like, why did you choose to have this freebie? What current problems are you having that this freebie might help you with? They'll further nurture you, and then slowly they'll push you towards a 15-minute discovery call. And this is just to further nurture you again and pre-qualify you to see, are you worth hopping on a sales call? Now, you guys all know how discovery call and sales calls work, but essentially this is how it works. So they'll get you from attracting you, watching the content here. They'll nurture you further in this section here, and then they'll sell you in this section. So attract, nurture, convert. Simple. Any questions before I move on? It's like that went quicker than I thought. Stream is kind of blurry. Oh, that's not good. I'm on full connections. It's probably you. Okay. How do you know which funnel is better to use for what niche? No, okay. I think I was asked this earlier in a one-to-one call. So there is no right or wrong niche for. Sorry, that was wrong. There's no right or wrong funnel for a niche. It's pick one and use it effectively. Now, some funnels will work better than others because of like depending on the offer you're offering or the niche that you're in, you might have to do more further nurturing. But essentially, all of them do work to an extent. Some will work better than others depending on audience size and like the niche you're in. But there isn't really a right or wrong answer for this. It's more testing to see what works and testing how big you are as a creator. When it comes to the copy for this funnel specifically, it's more the IG reels that the IG reels that will be made for the videos and the story sequences, and also the DM setting. Remember, with DM setting, again, you are using quite a lot of copywriting skills to do this. So that's where the copy comes in. And you're kind of right in this, where it doesn't have much copy, but again, the copy will come in the content creation side. And what you'll find is quite a few creators will use multiple funnels and combine them into one. So they're not only just going to use IG funnel, they're not might use. Oh, I can't speak right now. They might not just use the IG funnel. They might use an IG funnel plus another one to help push their stuff. But that's the gist of it. That should be everything. So the copy for this is mainly content and DM saying. Everything else, story sequences, content, and DM saying, and it's all short form. Like, you're not going to do long form here, so it's not going to be that much. So you guys here thinking you can offer copy to someone only running an IG funnel, probably not. And if they're only running an IG funnel, they probably have bigger issues. But that's in a sense how it works. Any questions, or can I move on to the next one? I see no questions, so I'm going to take it as we're going to the next one. So next one. So IG funnel ain't good. No, it is good. It is good. There's just a lot of variables that depend on if it performs well or not. But we'll move on to the next. The next one is the Ascension funnel. So again, this is another one that you'll see quite commonly used across some big offers. How it works is all the attention is garnered from these platforms. So YouTube videos, TikTok videos, Instagram, maybe X, depending on some offers that I've seen. But basically, they get all the attention and get all the leads from here, and they send them to an opt-in page, right? But it's opt-in page. There's no selling involved. There's no no, I'm lying. This is wrong. There is selling involved. This opt-in page, all it does is promote the low ticket. I was getting confused with something else, but we'll get on to that. So in the opt-in page, you'll have the name, their email, and their phone number, or maybe just name and email, depending on what the what lead information you're trying to attract. And all they're doing is just selling a low ticket. So you guys might be confused and be wondering why they sell something for a low ticket. So I can't remember where or which study proved this. So you can't take my word for it, but I'll have to find it later. There's a study where it's proven that if people buy from you, they're more likely to buy again from you. So what they do is promote, they get all the attention, promote to an opt-in page, which then leads you to a low ticket. This low ticket could be like a digital product, a little book, but i.e., all it has to be is just something very cheap, something low friction and just easy, something that can be like an impulsive buy. And what this does is it will solve an issue that this audience has, provide value, and think, oh, okay, the value was good, I don't feel scammed. So what this does is two things. A, builds a lot of trust, so they know they're not going to get scammed if they try to go for something bigger. And they can see that the value is being provided. Now, once this is done, this solves one problem, but it will create a next. Now, this could be used for any niche. I'm going to go with fitness again, for example. Let's just say you get an ebook on different exercises. That works, and then you see that you're getting a lot of good results. But now you notice that your diet plan's like really bad. Then it will then move on to a mid-ticket, which then teaches you about meal plans and dieting and stuff like that. Now, because you've bought already and you've seen the value and you've seen that you can trust this person, you're more likely to buy from him. Not everyone will convert, but a lot of people will. And this also builds trust. And then this also does the same thing as this one, where you're again solving a problem, building more trust because the course or product here solves a problem and alleviates a pain. And then all it does is again further nurture you, builds goodwill. And then over time, after you've solved that problem, you'll run into a new problem, which then pushes you towards another high ticket or maybe another mid ticket, or slowly, depending on what the offer is, that solves another problem. Again, in the fitness niche, maybe it's you've done the exercises, you've done the nutrition and meal plans. Now you need that one-to-one support to get that final dream body or whatever. And then, oh, lo and behold, this person's offering a high ticket offer where you work on them one-on-one to help you achieve the dream body or goal or whatever it is. And that's how it works. Because you bought this one and gained a lot of trust and saw value, and you bought this one and saw a lot of value and gained a lot of trust, you're automatically going to assume, okay, this one will have a lot of value and give me the outcome that I want because the other two did. And you're more likely to buy this. That's the Ascension funnel in a nutshell. Any questions? I'll get onto copy types that are needed, but yeah. Okay, we'll skip low ticket and just have mid and high. You could, but the whole point is to build trust. If your content already does that, then you could probably skip the low ticket, go mid to high, but majority you want to go low to mid to high. You want to like treat people, trying to slowly, not coerce them, that's the wrong word, but slowly shift their beliefs and slowly make them trust you to the point where they go from here to here to here. Are they able to buy the low ticket? How do they know about the mid ticket and offer only master? So yeah, so the low ticket, what it will do is, depending on how all the marketing and automations are set up. So once you put your opt-in here and you've done the low ticket, or you both bought the low ticket, at the end of the product, it will obviously tell you about the mid ticket, and then the nurture sequences in the emails will also slowly educate you and nurture you on these two offers. So then they know like your natural buying path is what needs to go next. Any more questions? Okay. The copy types needed for these, simple. So opt-in pages for the actual landing page or opt-in page. The page design and copy for the low ticket, page design and for the mid ticket and high ticket. The mid ticket and high ticket may have VSL, so they're going to need to be scripted. And of course, all the content types needed to actually generate that traffic in the first place to push them down the funnel. So quite a bit more than the IG one, but yeah. Any questions, or can I move on to the next one? Okay, guys, I can move on to the next one. Right. VSL funnel. Everyone's favorite funnel, which people see and people use, which honestly I can't blame them because it's one of the simplest yet most effective. So, how it works, I mean, it's all in one fucking screen, but how it works. YouTube videos, I mean, I'll put YouTube videos here as an example, but basically any type of content which nurtures them and builds that trust and value is what's needed. So middle funnel, and especially middle funnel content, is very key because we want the prospects and stuff to be educated and well known in the business model before going or going into the VSL to actually go ahead. How this works is leads come from here, they go to the VSL page, the VSL will then obviously sell them on the mechanism or offer that they're offering. There will be the name, email, and phone number template here to explain everything. I forgot to add it here, but it's shown in another funnel type, but there'll be case studies and testimonials at the bottom here to obviously further show more proof. Prospects will then fill in a type form to make sure they're qualified. If they're qualified, they'll hop onto a sales call, and if they're qualified and have the finances, they will then close and buy. Now, this one is heavily dependent on the content that's here because the VSL funnel is mainly for people who are ready to buy, ready to go, don't need further educating. They're more than happy. If they've got the money, they'll go. And content plays a really key part here because we're trying to educate them and have them ready to buy to the point where they get to this page. So we want the content to make them go from problem aware to solution aware. From solution aware, we want the VSL to make them product aware. And from the time you get them from product aware to the sales call, they'll be most aware. And again, like I said, if they've got the money, they are most likely going to close without any objection. If at any point, let's just say, for example, the content is making them problem aware and not solution aware, if they fly into the VSL, they're gonna not understand about the product or not be qualified enough in terms of education about the product. And if they do make it through the type form and onto the sales call, that's when you'll start to have issues and start slowing down, and maybe people don't close, stuff like that. So content is really key when it comes to making them or making the VSL funnel in general highly effective. Any questions? I'll just see something. Is VSL high ticket only? It's not high ticket only, but a lot of high ticket offers utilize it because of its effectiveness. Any questions? I'll go over the copy types needed. I'm pretty sure they're quite obvious, but I'll go over them. Can we downsell them to low ticket offer if they don't qualify on type form? Yes, depending on the offer, yes, you can. Can I pitch a guy VSL funnel to build out a low ticket offer? I'll hold on to that, David, because I'll go through the other funnel types and then you can see. But yeah, Rachel, to answer your question, yeah, you can downsell them to a low ticket if they don't qualify. But again, the whole point of this funnel is to make it really effective to the point where we're not getting too many unqualified leads. We're trying to get them more qualified so they buy. And then the copy types, as you can see here, obviously a VSL landing page. Now, I see a lot of you guys get confused. It's a VSL landing page, not a sales page. Keep that understood. I've seen it quite a lot where I've seen some of your funnel hack looms and stuff where it's saying they've got a VSL sales page. If they had a sales page, it defeats the purpose of having a sales call. This is strictly a VSL page to go to the type form to obviously end up in the booking call. And content, again, is very important in this funnel type because you need to have the content dialed in completely to the point where it takes a prospect from unaware to problem aware to solution aware. It has to take them through those 3 stages. If leads land at this point here and they're not solution aware because the VSL will take them to product aware, if they're not at solution aware, this VSL will not be as effective. It's almost exclusively middle funnel content. Depends, all depends. Middle funnel is the one which takes them from problem, which introduces problem and solution aware. But depending on the audience and how new the channel is and your uploading strategy, you want to obviously have a mix of top of funnel, top of funnel, middle funnel, and bottom of funnel, because you want to be constantly attracting in new leads. New leads will always be unaware, so you've got to make them. You've got to have videos which makes them from unaware to problem aware, and then you've got to have videos that take them from problem aware to solution aware. But the gist of it is videos have to take them from unaware to problem to solution. VSL page takes them from solution to product aware. Product aware takes them from, the sales call, and probably more content will take them from product aware to most aware. And if they've got the money, they will buy. Moving on. Free community. The free community funnel. The one that just never fails. So, again, this is some of the other ones which you guys may come across and quite a lot, and is something actually quite often used by a lot of creators, including me, hence the free community. But free community, they kind of come in all, not shapes and sizes, but they kind of can be used in different ways. So, again, free community works like this. You got all this traffic and all this attention from YouTube, TikTok, whatever traffic source, wherever you're getting all the leads, and you're pushing all of these leads into an opt-in page. Now, this opt-in page is not selling anything. All it is doing is introducing some sort of free resource that they can find in a free community. Whether that free community is the resource, or if there's like a hidden resource within the community that they can access. Now, again, it'll be a landing page, maybe like a little video. I've got a video here as an example. Maybe there won't be. Probably more information about the free community, and again, to capture the lead information, there'll be the name, email, and phone number. And then once they give us this information, they'll get access to the free community, where this is like the best way I could draw it out. But like there'll be like a chat where people can talk to each other and see other people within the community. Maybe like a free course. There's a wins channel to showcase everything. This will be very important. I'll explain afterwards. More resources, video modules, and stuff like that. This is where it gets confusing. Not confusing. This is where people do get confused. A free community can be hosted on multiple platforms. So Discord, like my one. There's School. There's WAP. There's Telegram. One of the offers I work on, she has a Facebook group, she has two. She has a paid one and a free one. So Facebook groups can be a free community, but essentially it's just a place where they all roam. So I know a lot of you, when you're outreaching, can see that you may, sorry. I think there was a question a few days ago where someone said, like, can someone explain why anyone has like a free Telegram? It's all to further nurture. All this does is nurturing, and this is probably the fastest way, one of the fastest ways to do nurturing. Because they're getting all the like different resources, they're talking to people within the certain community. They're getting all these extra resources and seeing what's possible. And also what's happening in here is they're being upsold to an offer, whether if it's a low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket, doesn't matter. All this free community does is further nurture them and slowly upsell them along the time that they're in the free community. And when it comes to closing and actually joining, because of all the trust built here, when it comes to this part, it's quite easy. Any questions? Outside of newsletters, is there any other way or any use case for getting your customers emails? So obviously there's newsletters to further nurture, but it's more trust building and value and selling. That's what I see emails being used for, nothing else. I mean, you can have a newsletter, but again, people need to be reading stuff, or you need to be providing value on the newsletter every single day, or not every single day, sorry, but consistently, because that's why they subscribe. Any questions on this? Oh wait, no, I forgot to mention the wins. So the wins helps build trust. So if you got coaching or any ticket here, you post the wins here. The free guys see it. They built that FOMO gets built quite a lot, and then they make the jump. So not only are you doing upselling, but the FOMO from seeing the people win in the paid community, they're like, oh, I need to go join. Like it just builds that urgency to keep going. It's kind of what a lot of people are doing. Not only just me, but I think Korean said it, KJ. Yeah, FOMO is a big emotion. You'll be surprised how much of an emotion that is that actually sells people. But yeah, any questions on the free community funnel before I move on? If any. Is this all making sense, by the way? I'm like rambling on. Okay, all making sense. All right, perfect. I'm not being an idiot. Right, now we're getting into the nitty-gritty funnels. So this is the webinar funnel. This is what I'm starting to see a few offers go with. I think with my client, we did a webinar and it kind of did well. We're planning on doing another one soon. Again, works similarly to the free community one in terms of how we start it up. So we've got the content side, again, YouTube videos, TikTok, IG, X, whatever your source of traffic is. Could even be paid ads. All of them get sent to a sign-up page. Again, these sign-up pages aren't really big. They've got information, maybe a headline, information about what the webinar might have, This could be in text form or video form. Obviously here, example, I've got a video form, but there's many examples where it's a text form. And again, they're asking for your name, email, and phone number, your contact info basically, before you can get access to the webinar. And that's to obviously grab your details and further nurture you and probably sell you down the line. But not only for that, but to set reminders up so you actually show up to a webinar. Because you'll be surprised at how many people sign up to a webinar and then don't show up. So once you've done that, you'll be sent to a confirmation page where you'll be given more details about the webinar, such as the time, the actual link to the meeting, and the date it's meant to take place. Some webinars I've seen is where they'll have like a little confirmation page telling you that, hey, you made the best deal of your life, kind of cementing your idea of showing up and making it seem like that was the best decision you ever made to sign up to this webinar, kind of giving you like a preview of the webinar, what they could expect, what you're going to talk about. But this is kept really short, and then obviously once you've done this, you're waiting for the webinar to happen. Now, depending on how the webinar works, you'll have a few where some are evergreen, where they run daily or even hourly, and you'll have some which are run every 2 weeks, every 1 week, every few months. But depending on that, if it's run every few days or so, you'll have emails that will be specifically designed, like sequences, that nurture you, that build trust, and actually get you to show up to the webinars. Then yeah, on the day of the webinar, you'll probably get an email saying, hey, look, webinar started. And here's the juicy part once you get to the webinar. So the webinar will start. I'll probably sometime next week will go over how webinars work. But essentially the webinars will go on. What these webinars do is slowly, obviously build trust, introduce a unique mechanism. They slowly shift your beliefs into believing in this unique mechanism. And by the end of the webinar, most of the time you're pre-sold on the idea. And in the chat, if you pay attention, or at the end of the webinar, you'll hear the creator say, oh guys, I'm doing like a special discount. So they add urgency and scarcity within these webinars to make you buy. So they'll say like, I'm offering a special discount, or there's only 10 spots left, or something along those lines. And they'll post a link and say, guys, check the chat. If you found this webinar really valuable, then my course or coaching will be even more valuable. You'll click the link. You'll go to a type form, so where they qualify and disqualify people, similar to the VSL page. And then you hop on a sales call with a rep. And again, if you're qualified and you've got the funds, you're most likely to buy. So yeah, that's the webinar funnel in a nutshell. Any questions? Seen this a few times. What, the webinar funnel, or have you been on a couple webinars? Funnel, okay. Any questions from anyone else? Right, specific copywriter. What, Scam Stoic? What copy does this require? Okay, so again, copy would be, of course, content. I think I'm gonna hammer that into your guys' mind. Copy is how many followers should someone have to do webinars? Quite a decent following. I couldn't give a good number, couldn't give a specific number, but somewhat of a decent following, because the webinars are designed to convert. So we want an audience to actually show up. But in terms of copy types, again, it's the content you upload to actually attract these unaware leads in the first place. There's the actual opt-in page that you need to write, maybe the little VSO in here. There's a confirmation. You wouldn't really need to write anything in here. Webinar would need to be scripted out, and that needs to be done by a copywriter. That takes quite a while because it's very time consuming, because you have to be very specific about the beliefs you're shifting and introducing the mechanism and hitting the pain points. I would suggest going into any webinar and sort of not funnel hacking it, but seeing how they do all those different parts within a webinar to shift your beliefs and further nurture you and get you ready and pre-sold. And so yeah, and also the email sequences that are needed to shift your mind from obviously nurturing you, but also making sure you actually show up on call. Quite a few copy types, but again, I'd say the majority would be content and the script. How do you determine the length of a webinar? Some go 30 minutes, I've seen some go 2 hours. It depends on how much trust you want to build and how much belief shifting is needed. So like for some webinars, maybe the audience, again, it all comes to your market, not market research, but the market, not sophistication, but the awareness level. Is you're gonna need a longer time to convince someone that's unaware / problem aware all the way to ready to buy than it is for someone who's solution aware but just needs a product. All depends, and it all comes down to market research and understanding the awareness level of your audience. Because if your content isn't doing a good job of nurturing them, then your email sequences and webinars are going to have to do more of the heavy lifting. But if your content is doing a really good job of taking them through the awareness stages, your webinar doesn't need to be that long because they're already sold on the mechanism. They already know the pain points. They know what their end goal is. They just need something there to take them there. How do you handle the fact that everyone who enters knows that there will be a pitch at the end? A lot of people opt out before the pitch, right? Yeah, but a lot of people, again, the webinars are mainly there to sell you on the idea, and it's trying to sell to an audience who don't know they're being pitched to. So a lot of webinars are disguised as like free trainings, a never seen before method. So people are there and are really sold on the idea, and are really sold on the idea and sold on the product. Isn't that a little bit scammy? Yeah, I guess you can say it's scammy, but it all depends on you or your client's offer. Are they a scam? Because if they are a scam, then yeah, it's scammy. But if their product actually gets results for people, then I wouldn't see it as scammy. All depends on the product. Because if you're scam stoic and you're telling people I'll give you a client and then you ghost them after they join, then yeah, it's a scam. But if your actual product and your coaching delivers results for people, then you're not really scamming them. You're just because like all of these, like you said, they're disguised as masterclasses and free trainings, and the pitch at the end is normally like an extra bonus. It's not. You couldn't really see it as a scam because again, it's taking you through the awareness stages. So if the content makes you problem aware, the webinar will make you solution aware and product aware. Been on a few of them. I've been on a few of them, and pretty much high pressure at the end. But I get the point. Yeah, the whole point is the webinar, depending on how long the webinar is, it's just designed It's designed to take you through the awareness stages as quick as possible. Because even if you don't get sold on the idea on the first webinar, it's already implanted in your head. You know what the issue is, and then at that point, it's more you just need to be hammered on the pain points and the cost of inaction. Because now you know that taking action is buying the product. And if the cost of inaction isn't greater than the cost of action, then you're not going to buy. Oh, it's just speeding up the audience to that point. Does that all make sense? Is asking for their email and phone number before we let them access the free training links. Yes, Prana, it does, because we want to put them on a nurture sequence. Because again, if we make them here, like if we get them to a product aware section and they leave, we can use our emails to try push them. from product aware to booking that sales call and further nurturing them to the point where they want to hop on a sales call or buy the product. And then, yeah, the SMS is the phone numbers for SMS reminders to actually show up to the webinar. Perfect. Does that all make sense? And can I move on to the next one? Perfect. All right. Next one and final one. So, squeeze funnel. This is more, I wouldn't say dying out. There's still quite a lot of offers that I see using squeeze funnels, and it's kind of the same, kind of similar to the VSL funnel. I think this is the one I got confused with a bit earlier, but again, essentially, I haven't got the little picture here, but essentially, you'll get your traffic from your sources, either IG, YouTube, whatever, and you'll send them to an opt-in page. The opt-in page is again disguised as like a free training or a masterclass, and the only way to access it is by, of course, giving your details, by your name, email, phone number, and I'll get onto these two in a sec. But what they do is, of course, put you onto a nurture sequence, further nurture you, sell you on the idea, sell you on the unique mechanism, and then the phone, depending on how big the offer is and how well it's doing, could be used in sort of a DM setting case where you might get dialed up and you might get pre-sold, or not pre-sold, sorry, or qualified. This will probably make more sense, so I'm going to explain this part. So once you sign into the opt-in page and you give your details, you'll then get access to the free training or the masterclass or whatever it's disguised there. And essentially, it's just one long VSL explaining you on the mechanism and further nurturing you, taking you from problem aware to solution aware to product aware. It's all speeding up that process. You watch the full free training. You see all the case studies that this so-called business model opportunity has presented. And then you end up making, or you put up the type form after you've watched it to see what they're selling. So it'll go from here to here to a type form. The type form again qualifies you depending on how big the offer is. You'll have someone call you. I'll explain that in a sec. If you qualify, you'll then go to a book to call page, and if you've got the money, they will push and close you. So this is interesting with the phones, and especially with this funnel type that I've seen that the dialers are used a lot. So what they do is in the first stage, if they're active and they're really on it, they will ask you if you've watched this once you first sign up. So not everyone will watch the VSL, and what their job is to do, I don't know, maybe you got bored or something happened and you didn't watch the whole thing. They will ask you if you watched the VSL and what you think. If not, they'll try push you towards watching the VSL and try further qualify you. And then they'll probably ask questions of relating to whatever the business model is, like why are you interested, blah, blah, blah. This is just more to gain market research and see what marketing and content angles can be created to further feed this whole funnel and get more people into the opt-in page. And if you get to this section here in the type form, I don't know if any of you guys have done funnel hacking and then like you put your number in by accident and they called you, but all they're doing here is to further qualify you and to make sure you show up to the call. So if you're in the type form, they'll confirm your answers with you to make sure you weren't lying. Like let's just say like the qualifying question was 2K up front, otherwise you didn't get promoted or qualified, and you put 2K. They call you up, they ask, can you afford 2K? And you say, no, I can't afford 2K, they'll cancel you. This whole section here is to make sure like you show up, they further nurture you, and yeah. Then obviously you hop onto the call, you hop on the call with the closer, you do the little closing shebang, and if you've got the money and if you're convinced, you will pay. Any questions? Sense. That's similar to what I'm doing now. So basically, the only difference between this and the VSL funnel is the nurturing. Yes. So with this one, we're relying on the content heavily to make them solution aware and know about the mechanism and everything before we push into the VSL. Because this VSL here is to do one job and is just to make you product aware and actually sell you on the product. This VSL here, or this section here, is more to take unaware leads, and the VSL training here will make them, take unaware and problem aware people. The VSL here will push all those people to solution and product aware. So instead of having all of this content do the moving for you, this is what the VSL does. And this is why the dialing comes in and is very important, because they're asking you and making sure, hey, did you watch this? Because this VSL is really important in actually nurturing and pushing you from the stages of unaware to problem aware to solution aware to product aware. And if you get to this stage, they know you're product aware, and now they're saying, all right, get on a call, you'll be most aware. Some more belief shifting involved. All funnels do, every funnel is shifting belief, just making you, is shifting your belief and your awareness. That's the majority of what all funnels do. Some do it better than others, some are more effective than others. But like some funnels can work well. Again, I think this was your question earlier where you said, like, is IG a good funnel? Yes, it is, but it all depends on your audience size and creator, because you couldn't use a webinar funnel if you were a small creator, because I don't think it would be as effective. But you could use an IG funnel or a free community funnel to grow your following and your audience size until you get to the point where a webinar funnel might make sense for your audience size. It all depends, but all are good. But yeah, these two are quite similar, which can get a bit confusing, which is why I made them two different. What are the rule of thumbs when it what are the rules of thumb when to use which funnel? There is no rule of thumb. It's just testing. It's just testing to see what works. Oh gosh, which type of funnel is this? Can't add that to my client. YouTube, IG page, free. So you know how I said earlier, like, people won't use one funnel, they'll probably use two or more. I think the one that you pitched to your client was this one, free community. I think that's the one you pitched. Yours is sort of like an ascension, but with a free community. Then to VSL 2 though is it a merge? I mean, it's the VSL, right? But again, it's understanding your market. Because the VSL on the landing page will just make them product aware. Your free community will turn them into solution aware, and then the landing page for the high ticket will make them product aware. So you've got a free community funnel. Pitched it. No, it's not complex. As long as you can explain it. No, Rachel, you can keep it. It's fine. It's completely fine. It's not wrong. Completely fine. Because the people that are already product and solution, not product, sorry, the people that are already problem and solution aware will go straight to the landing page. But those who aren't problem and solution aware will go to the free community, which will then get further nurtured to then be problem and solution aware to then go to the landing page. It's completely fine. Any questions? God, I don't know how long that's been going for. So it covers all types of prospects. Yeah, these funnels here are like the majority of the most commonly ones used by a lot of people. Are they using singular versions of this, or two of these, or some of these which are merged? I showed you like the foundations of each type. So I think when you go to Funnel Hack, you can kind of understand what type of funnel they're running, and then you just go and see what are they doing. Any questions? Oh, no questions? Yeah, there's a lot more to funnel. Okay, so okay, perfect. So now that you guys sort of have an understanding of the majority of the funnels which are used, let's move on to funnel hacking.